we're having the 2024 Bowtie Barbecue Jam for all our musician friends around this area. Randall Cowett is responsible for putting everything together and bringing his equipment, sound equipment, and contacting everybody. And this is a bunch of musicians that we've been getting together now for, this is our second or third time to get together. We've had several get-togethers in Clio up at Riverfield with a lot of these musicians, and we're inviting local musicians to come around and share their talent and just get together. We're all getting a little older, and we want to make sure that we include everybody and have a good time and play some music. I think it's great. We get to see folks that we hadn't seen in years and years, just like, for instance, Mr. Buddy Owens. Mr. Buddy Owens is probably about 85 years old, and he's one of the premier guitar players from the Savannah area, and everybody looks up to him and admires his talent and ability. And it's just fun to have folks like that get together, and us all get together and play and sing and pick a little and grin a little and just have fun. Randall and I were talking about it the other day. I can't tell you the names of all of them, but we've lost several since last year. You don't ever know, because each year, the time that we are able to spend together and renew old acquaintances, it's very precious, because next year or when we do this thing again, there might be some folks that aren't here. So we want to do it as long as we can, and we're still able to do it, and we still love it. We all got the music bug in our blood, and we can't help but love to get together and pick and grin. So that's what we're doing. It's a fun time, and Randall has really reached out and helped promote this thing and do it. He's put a lot into it. I'd like to thank everybody that came today, the ones that participated and sang and played, and the ones that just came and enjoyed the fun times together. But we really appreciate it. We appreciate Bowtie Barbecue for allowing us to use this facility and put this on, and we just think it's a wonderful time. I'm excited to be a part of it, and hope we can do it again.
Hey everybody, glad to be here today. I'm Fred Hodge, pleased to be here at the 2024 Bowtie Jam. So all these guys that one way or another I have played with back in the old days, and I play keyboards. So we have intermingled one way or another through the years. From, I was just telling the guy in there, it's like when we started playing, there were no cell phones. TV was in black and white. So a lot's changed in this day and time. I play keyboards, I play piano and organ. I played, when I was in the 70s, I played with Voyage, with John Kennedy, Frank Andrews, Royce Wendell, Penny Boyce, and Perry Russell, the White Tornado. So that was really cool. And then later on, I played with the Encore Party Band that had Jim Doubleday on it, and John Kennedy, and some others that I cannot remember. Most fun thing today is about just seeing everybody today. This has been great. This has been rejuvenating, because you don't know where your people are till you get together like this and you see them alive and in person. So this has been tremendous. This has been a real boost for me. Look here, we got another one scheduled in January 2025 at Spanky's and Pooler, so be sure to be there. It's going to be great. Listen, thank you all for coming. This has been a blast.
Randall called me and said, I must be here. When Randall calls me and says I must be here, then I must be here. Welcome everybody to the 2024 Bowtie Jam. We've lost a couple of good folks there. Chris K's been a good friend of mine, stayed with me for a period of time, as he did stay with you too while he was down here visiting, and we miss him a lot. Wendell actually sold me one of my very first amps when I was starting in the harmonica business, that many years ago. And Randall called me up and said, I know you need an amp. He said, I got a friend of mine up in Statesboro, owns a music store. And I said, well, let's go visit. And we did. Tell you another little funny story too. Way back when Keller's Flea Market used to host the Run to the Sun, they were doing a battle of the bands in there. And I was a little musically inclined, so the band came to me and they said, we don't have a setup, we don't have a thing. And I called Wendell. Wendell said, I just rented my whole kit out to a band that's going to be playing there tonight. So I went in there, I pulled $200 out of the drawer from the A-Bait Society and said, you've just now rented the entire equipment. They said, are you the manager? And I said, I am today. Great, there was great fun times back then too. I think the most fun is seeing and listening to the reactions and the interactions of the musicians that have known each other for so long. It's hard enough to get them to play. Well, they want to reminisce, and that it is so good to just hear. And I get in a little bit because I don't know a lot of these guys. I wasn't a professional player for the times when yourself and Randall and Kim Calhoun and Mr. Buddy and all these guys have been playing here. Ronnie Lusk, they've been playing for years and years and years. I've been hanging around Randall and goofing around a little bit of harmonica for about 10 years, but knew him all the way back to the old days at 204, Randall's Nightlife, and lots of good times. But it is a lot of fun to see the old interactions between these old guys, and some of them have to look at each other a long time and say, God, do I know you? It's a little bit hard to recognize. We do appreciate everyone coming out. I hope to do this again next year. Maybe we have a Bowtie Jam. Who knows? We may have it somewhere else. But it's so much fun to have these musicians together and just enjoying each other's company, the fellowship, and just getting to tell the old stories. It's just a lot of fun. And a big shout out to the folks that own Bowtie Barbecue. Without them, we were not able to pull this off. It's a fairly small room back there, but when you got 18 people that are in and out, but they're wonderful folks. I don't know if you've had a chance to have the food, but the food is just over the top. Very, very good. Hope to be back here next year.
I started playing banjo when I was 9 years old, and then when I was about 11 or 12, the Beatles hit, and so you couldn't get a girlfriend with a banjo, so I swapped off to guitar, and I've been playing guitar ever since. I'm running into people that I haven't seen in 30 years, and some of them people that I've played with, and people that I've hung out with, and it's just kind of a great reunion to see old friends and see that everybody's doing well, and sitting in with Buddy Owens, he taught me a lot of stuff about playing guitar, and I was kind of average until I met Buddy, and Buddy really kind of put me in the right direction harmonically. Well, I played with the Rogues, of course, in between different things. And then before that, a lot of the guys that I played with are no longer here. So the ones that were coming through, John Jordan, Wendell Roach, those guys. We were in Fragile together for like 8 years, and then John died from a car accident. And then I moved into other stuff. I did sound for about 4 years, and then I started playing again, but nobody needed a guitar player then, so I played bass. For about 3 years, I played bass with a fellow up in Statesboro, a piano player, guitar player guy, and that was good. And then I got a guitar gig playing in a country band, and I played in a country band, with all of those guys, and of course they're not here either. It's like one of those things. They've passed on. And yeah, it has been the 2024 Jam has been a blast. I've really enjoyed hanging with these people and seeing them again. It's been a great musicians reunion. And I've really enjoyed it. I'll definitely be back next year.
Today I've enjoyed most of it. Everybody's friendly, we all get together and we're all just, even if you don't play a whole bunch or you don't play, you're still listening to other musicians play. And for musicians, I think it's kind of a big deal. We love to do that kind of stuff. And so that's my favorite part of it. I've been in Savannah for about 25 years, and most of that has been playing with the Rogues. But I played with other bands. I played with blues bands, and when I first got here, down in River Street and stuff like that. And lately, it's been more conventions and weddings and stuff like that. But I still enjoy playing. Yeah. Favorite kinds right here, man. Grateful Dead, Santana. Steely Dan, that era of music, the band. I love the band, Bob Dylan stuff. I really enjoy playing music that has solos in it. You know, music that you can hear musicians' talent. You know, and that's what I like listening to. That's always what I've liked listening to. My parents brought me up with that when I was a kid, and I'm forever grateful to them for that. Thank you all for coming to the 2024 Bowtie Jam.
I play keyboards mostly. I can fool people on a variety of other instruments, but mainly keyboards is what I do. I really enjoyed the couple of beers I drank, and I enjoyed talking to all my old friends, and especially the ones I recognize. I've played with maybe a third of the musicians out here in some capacity. Kerry Shube and I played back up in Statesboro with a band called Wheatstone Mission, and I've filled in with a lot of these guys over the years, and they've come and helped me out in my bands over the years, but can't really remember any Savannah bands I played with, actually. We all loved Thad Strickland, of course, and yes, I'm sorry, Wendell had the music store up there in Statesboro, and so I was by there to see him all the time, and that was sad. Miss Wendell.
Normally between 2 and 5 on Sunday afternoon, there wouldn't be many folks here. So I'm happy we've, through all this frivolity, have managed to create a air of income for some.
I play keyboards.
How long have you been playing keyboards?
Since I could get up on a bench and touch a piano. My mother was a concert pianist, and I grew up with a piano in the house. It's funny, I was talking to somebody earlier. The thing I like the most about this event is a lot of the people that are here today are some of the, what I like to call the old guard, or what I like to, when did we become the elders? Well, we're now the elders, and this is about 80% elders in this group, and we come out just to see each other. It's not a competition. We're not trying to outplay each other. We're not trying to say who plays this music or this band or that band. But it's all going down by itself. Everybody's handshaking. We've got a lot of hugs, people we haven't seen in years. You and me being a prime example of that. We haven't seen each other in at least 20 years. We just pick up where we left off. I think that's the best thing about this, is everybody gives us something for each other. You know, interestingly enough, I did most of my playing outside of Savannah. I played in bands in high school and after that, but after that I left town and I was on the road for years. I really didn't get back here until the mid-'80s. And the first band I played in was probably one of the best bands I've ever played in, called Rockwell. Freddie Stringer played drums, Jay Hackney played bass, Gordon Perry played guitar, Howard Jobe was the singer, and I played keys. That was a fun rock and roll band. Now, more than anybody else, I still play with Gordon occasionally, Gordon Perry and Strange Brew. And the A gig for me right now is the Sapphire Bullets. I play keyboards in the Bullets, which is a 10-piece horn band. We got a 5-piece horn section, plus guitars, drums, keys, singer, and all that. And it's a fun band to play in because I've been with them now probably, I think, 13 years. And when I first went to play with this band, all I played with prior was just rock and roll bands. 4-piece, 5-piece rock and roll bands. 1, 4, 5 keys, that kind of stuff. Well, all of a sudden I wake up one morning and the leader of the band tells me he wants to solo in B flat, or wants me to solo in A flat. And I hadn't soloed in A flat maybe ever. So I learned all the horn keys, and it's made me a much better keyboard player. I'm playing music like Steely Dan and Toto and things that I've always wanted to play, but A, I wasn't a good enough keyboard player to play it, and B, I didn't have the band to play it with. So we've learned all this stuff together. We've really pushed our game a lot, and the book that the band plays out of is just huge and wonderful. So that's where I really enjoy playing. And it's funny because, you know, nowadays all the keyboards have got little transpose buttons on them. You want to go in, you want to transpose from E down to E flat, they just push a button and they keep playing an E. And people ask me, because I played the B3 organ, and I've got one at the rehearsal studio, the big Hammond B3 organ. Well, what do you do when you transpose on a B3? I said, you play in the right key. If you don't know how to transpose, you shouldn't be playing. You know, if everybody, like they say, if everybody tells one person, and that one person tells one person, we'll have a huge crowd. But I'm all about coming out and support things like this.
About this thing here is just seeing everybody. Hadn't seen them in so many years, man. I mean, it's a lot of them you don't quite recognize because we've all put a few years on us and things like that, but it's a good time seeing everybody again. I play the drums. I started in 1967 with the Rogues. Long time. Probably just about longer than you've been born. I started in 67, James and George Rohde, Gary Pearson, Charlie Stafford. We went on to cut a record, and I think we got our first royalty check, which happened to be our last royalty check, which was like $13. Y'all come on out now. It's going to be some fun to see some players you hadn't seen in a while. I would like to invite every one of you to the next one in Pooler that we're having in January 2025.
I originally was known as a drummer. I played drums and toured with 5 Miles High. And then when I came off the road, I was known as a bass player because I did a lot of studio bass player work. And then when I joined the Rogues, I was their guitar player. So I'm a guitar player, drummer, and bass player, depending on who knows me or what they're calling me for. Oh, today, just seeing all the people that I grew up with, that, you know, playing music and admired, you know, some of my heroes are here and some of the people I inspired. So it's kind of cool, you know. It's always cool whenever Buddy Owens is at a job to see Buddy, you know, because Buddy, you know, was just like gold to me. When Buddy way back came in with a guitar that was unplayable and the neck was about to come off, he had taken a door spring, a screen door spring, and put from the headstock to the back to pull the neck back, and he'd play over that whole spring and the neck. He was amazing. Well, they're all just wonderful people that I miss. I had talked with Wendell just shortly before he passed away, and just, you know, just wonderful people. You don't see them all the time, but when you do see them, it's like you saw them yesterday, you know, and I miss them. You know, Danny Branson just passed, you know. I've got, you know, some of my friends, Gary Rossington, you know, with Skinner just passed recently, and, you know, my old bass player played with Skinner, Ian Evans, and he passed away. And so losing a lot of people that, you know, just amazing and wonderful people. I want everyone to come out. We've got another one of these events coming with all the great musicians from Savannah coming. It will be at Pooler Spanky's location in Pooler. Please come out. It'll be a great time. Please come.
I think listening to everybody. There's so much talent in Savannah. It's just phenomenal to see so many talented people in one space. I've run into so many wonderful faces that I recognize, that I know, that have been to some of our gigs, that I've been to some of their gigs. I've met some new friends as well. It's just wonderful to connect with everybody all in one place. We're going to do another one of these in Spanky's in Pooler, so please join us.
Well, my first instrument when I was 10 years old was a clarinet. I played clarinet, saxophone, a little bit of oboe and bassoon, bass guitar, 6-string guitar. I play both acoustic and electric. I play a little bit of drums, but I'm mostly a singer, and I read music for all the instruments that I play or sing, and I can sight read with my voice. So I've had a lot of practice, but I haven't played a lot of music since I moved to Savannah. So it's interesting for me to be able to. Oh yeah, it's always a gas, because meeting new people and interacting with them and making music together, that's a kind of a magical thing. It's a spiritual experience that you don't get to have walking in the grocery store. It's a lot less formal. I kind of feel like I'm the new kid, but they've made me feel welcome here. But all these guys know each other, and the fact that they're comfortable playing together makes it easier for me, because I just kind of slide right in there and just help keep the beat.
Well, the thing I've enjoyed the most is I get to see a lot of musicians play that we don't normally get to see play. Plus, we get to sit in with them and just have a good time. It's all about seeing musicians out instead of at a funeral. Because when you're at a funeral, everybody said, you know, we ought to get together. We need to, you know, do a jam. And then years go by and it never happens. So finally this one came together, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. Well, we lost my twin brother 3 months ago, and I really miss him. And but I wish he was here to be able to, if he didn't play, just to sit and listen. And that's what this is all about. You know, I've had a really good time being here, playing with all the guys and seeing everybody play, and just glad to be a part of it. Thank you so much for having us. After 65 years, we're still the Rogues.
Ronnie still plays with me. We play a ministry called Hope Arbor together for people that are with the memory loss and things like that. And it's just a great ministry. We're lucky to be part of it. Started the Rogue with the beginning Rogues in 1965, and got out in 1980. And Ronnie and Jody continued on to this day. So they're up there in the 60s on the band right now. You know, it's just such a great time seeing all the old musicians that you grew up with. We had a music store, so I saw it from 2 points of view. From a fellow musician, that you appreciate how good they were, and then also musical clients that came in and bought things from us and told us what they wanted. And we're so excited when they got their new Taylor or their new Fender or something like that from us. And so all of that's a blessing, and including yourself, you know. So we were lucky to have such a great music store in Savannah for so many years. I'm so blessed to be here with all these older musicians, fellow musicians, and such a great time that Randall put on here at Bowties. And I understand that in January we're going to be back at Spanky's. But it's just a great time, and it's something that you want to come to see all your old friends, talk about old times, tell some old lies and war stories. You know, all of it's fun, and it's just it's a blessing to me.
Just seeing these guys. I mean, these are bands that I was just telling him that my mama wouldn't let me go see when I was growing up. And I'm old, so it was just an honor to see this many seasoned musicians getting together and play. I played with some of these guys, but it's just amazing to see how many came out and actually got up there on the stage. No, I've got some hand issues. I've been in a couple of bands, and I kind of consider myself a singer-songwriter because I suck at the guitar, but I play guitar and sing. I mean, I do a lot of original stuff, trying to get my stuff recorded just for the sake of history, you know. But that's what we're doing these days. Right now, what I'm doing, I've formed a 501c3 called the Little Star Foundation of Savannah, and it's about putting musical instruments in kids' hands. We've been doing it 9 years now. We raise money, we buy guitars, keyboards, whatever we need, and give them to them at kids for Christmas. We've now made it a year-round organization, and this past 3 months ago, I gave $5,000 worth of band in the boxes to the Board of Education, or just little percussion instruments, and but that's what I'm doing. And fortunately, I've had a lot of good input and assistance from local musicians, some of these guys even. But yeah, this was incredible. I mean, it's just, I'll be honest with you, I have never met Buddy. I have heard of Buddy, it seems like all my life. And it was a pleasure to finally put my eyes on the man. Oh yeah, a super musician, but like I said, they were just a little bit older than me, and in the late 70s, I started working at the Night Flight Cafe on River Street. So I got a lot of the bands coming in after their hotel gigs, private gigs, Hilton Head gigs. They were all coming to the Night Flight, so I met a lot of these guys long before I ever played with them. So being the music club that it was that was kind of the attraction to everybody. But
I'm meeting up with a lot of my old friends. Some go back to the second grade. I've known some of these guys all my life. I've played with a lot of people, the Perry brothers, Gordon and Mike, and Buddy Korn, and Bob Smith. I've been playing since the 60s with a lot of people. And none of the names really jump out. I did a short thing with the Greg Allman's Friends Band in the 70s. Short-lived, but that was fun. We toured the Southeast. I played with Sam the Sham when he was around. When he was hiding from the IRS, he would play on River Street, incognito, more or less. And I played with Nat King Cole's. He was a jazz pianist, and he's from Alabama, and he came to Savannah and put a band together with some local guys, really good guys, and in the 70s, I played with them for a little while. I would like to invite my friends and musicians to Spanky's in Pooler in January, and we can have a party and play and jam and have a good old time. I sure had a good time today.
Seeing everybody that we don't get to see all the time, that's been the most fun for me.
Yeah, seeing everybody, except so we don't see anybody at funerals, and because that seems to be par for the course, and it's just good camaraderie. You know, we all know each other for years and years and years, and some of us have mellowed out, and some of us are still what they were. And I told everybody, I said, you know, this isn't a battle of the bands or a competition. And I told, there's a couple of people here that are new to Savannah, and I said, probably 5 to 6 of the best guitar players in this town are in this room right now. And I said, well, they'll play wagon wheel all day long, and that's what you want to do, but they're capable of playing anything anybody throws at them, but you know, they weren't here for that, you know, so that's good, you know, where you can just get together and it's not a competition and all that stuff. So, and I got to play drums, which I never get to do, so it's been a long time, and yeah, it was a good time. Good for, and Randall, credit to Randall and Kim, this was their idea, and they wanted to do this, and made it all happen.
We had a great crowd of people, a lot of talent here today. It was fantastic, and I think the one at Spanky's and Pooler will be bigger and better than this one because we're gonna have more room and inviting more of them to come out and enjoying with us and have a great time. A good Sunday afternoon.
Well, it was really Randall and Kim's idea, and because I managed the Savannah Rocks page, I promoted it, and but it was they said they wanted to do this, and you know, we got Bowtie. We met out at Spanky's the pool, and the manager said, "Man, you can have the room back there," you know, and which is good because we're musicians, which means we have no money, and so, but you know, you know, it was their idea to get it all together, you know, and Randall PA did all that stuff, and so I give them credit for all that stuff.
Where the idea came from, Randall and I were on the telephone one afternoon, and we just got to reminiscing that on Sunday afternoons, because all of us would play over the weekends, and we couldn't ever get together and meet and share ideas. And on Sunday afternoons, we would meet up on River Street, and I don't remember the name of the bar, but they had 10-cent oysters, a pitcher of beer. And on Sunday afternoons, all the musicians would meet up. I think it was maybe Corky's, I'm not sure. But we would meet up on River Street, and all the musicians could finally get together, share their ideas, share their thoughts. And we just didn't see that happening anymore. So we wanted to try to come back to that. As we say, none of us are getting any younger. And we kind of wanted to come back to starting a thing on Sunday afternoons when we're all off and we can just sit and relax and share music and share ideas. So that's where it really came from, is just a phone conversation between Randall and I, just, you know, chatting, talking.
And then what sparked it was I was playing with Colin Saxon here, and Roy and Martha and John Banks came out, and Frank Andrews, and Frank got up and tried to do a couple songs, which turned out pretty good. Way up. And anyway, then that I went back and told Kim, I said, Kim, you know what, they were out there and we just had a great time. So we talked more about it and said, let's go for it. Let's try it, see if it works. So that pretty much is my part of that. But we sure have had a good time today.
And I'll tell you, we're just gracious enough that at our age, to have a turnout like this and people still appreciate what we have to offer. You know, I mean, it's we're just lucky for people to come out and listen to us.
There was a restriction though, because we're not jazz musicians, so anything past 4 we weren't going to do. You were counting to 5 or 6. That was like, no, 4.
But I want to throw a little bouquet out here to Randall. Randall is always somehow, some way, between the club that he owned, the Sea Grill, he has always provided us a place to play our music. And that's really what happened today, in my opinion. He always has.
And I'd like to add one more thing. I got my letter from my urologist Friday. And I looked at my letter this morning. I was real happy. Not my SAT, my PSA level is the same as my golf scores.
Yeah, that's good to know.
I mean, I got same golf score, same PSA level. Everything's good.
So I think we're good. And Dave, we want to thank you too. Thank y'all.
Yeah, and Nick. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Mr. Ty.
Mr. Ty?
Yeah,
Mr. Bo. It's Bowtie.
Thank you, Bowtie Barbecue.
Thank you, Bowtie. We really enjoyed it.
We did.
Thank you so much.
I'm the general manager at Bowtie Barbecue. Today's event went awesome. I was just telling Roxana, who was y'all's bartender today, I would love to have y'all back whenever y'all want to come. It was fun going out there, listening to all the music play, seeing all the different talents that were here. We were really excited. We had a great time today. It brought in a very different crowd, and we were very happy to have everybody. I mean, all the musicians were really great. We're very grateful that Thomas Cooler and Rock and Randall put this together for us and suggested that Bowtie Barbecue be the house for y'all tonight. And we're just excited.